What's good, YouTube? It's Pay. Today I'm back with another video, but before I get into the video, you guys know the rules. If you watch my content, you have to subscribe. You know, you're a thief, you're stealing from me if you just watch my content and don't subscribe. You know, it's an honor code system. I can't enforce the rules. I wish I could send you guys to jail for watching my content and not subscribing, but I can't. And it doesn't take a lot of effort. You just click one button. It helps me out a ton, and you can just go on about your day. But today I'm going to be talking about, well, it's kind of a little bit of a rant, but artists in these super long albums, specifically rappers, because this is a rap page, I'm a rap fan. Your album does not need to be 25 songs. It doesn't need to be 24 songs. It doesn't need to be 22 songs. It doesn't need to be 20 songs. Stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. Every single rapper does not need a 24 plus song album. Stop. Especially the artists who aren't album artists. Stop it. Now, I understand why it's happening because, you know, it's a new era. The streaming services run everything, and streams aren't the same as sales. Back in 2007, if Lil Wayne dropped a project and I listened to it one time, I'd have to go and buy it, then listen to it one time, and that counts towards a sale for Lil Wayne. He wins. Even if I hate the album and I never listen to it again after that one listen, he wins. He gets his sale. Nowadays, it's a little different. One stream on a streaming service doesn't mean anything. It's like 1,500 streams equals a sale, I believe, or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere around there. So me listening to a project one time doesn't really do much. Me listening to a song one time doesn't really do much. In the long term of things, at least long term. Damn, it doesn't really do much. So what these artists have to do nowadays with the streaming services, and you know, streaming services make it harder to make money off your music. You have to boost your sales somehow. So what do? You put as many songs on a project as you can in order to give yourself a higher chance of having more streams. You know, if I have 2 songs to stream versus I have 16 songs to stream, there's more chances for me to have more streams. You get what I'm saying? Even if the extra 14 songs I put on there are ass. Doesn't matter. And that's my main problem. Artists are just loading these albums up with a whole bunch of songs that aren't necessary, aren't that good, and just don't need to be there solely due to the fact that they want to get the streams. And I understand that. You want to make your money. I get it. 100%. But man, it sucks as a listener sometimes when a project is 25 songs, but it could have been 15. Or a project is 24 songs and it could have been 18. Like, it just really is annoying. And it's like these songs often aren't even super long either. You'll see like a 25 song album be 1 hour. And it's like, bro, really? Like, really? It's kind of shameless at this point, but I understand it. I understand it. Got to make your money, but man, it's annoying, especially as a listener. Now, I listen to pretty much everyone's music when it comes out because, you know, I'm a music fan. I make music content, so I have to listen to stuff. And when I'm not a big fan of a guy, it's a turnoff to see 25 songs on an album. Like, let's say Trippie Redd. I'm a fan of Trippie Redd, but I'm a pretty fair weather fan, not a diehard. I'm a casual Trippie Redd fan. I pop in and out, check his music out here and there, but I'm not like super diehard about Trippie Redd. When I see 25 songs, I'm like, man, I don't want to listen to this. I just off the bat don't want to listen to it. And that's not because Trippie Redd's not a good artist and he can't make 25 good songs. It's just because, you know, I don't need that much music from you. I don't need it. It's too much. It's too much. And a lot of the songs don't need to be there. A lot of the songs are filler. If you're not telling a story with your project, if you're not having some deeper meaning, if your project doesn't really have a lot of substance besides you just want to make music, it probably doesn't need to be super long. You don't need 25 songs to tell a story because you're not telling a story. You're just making music. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with making music for fun. I'm not one of these guys who's like, if the music doesn't have any substance, then it shouldn't. Like, I don't care. I don't care about having substance necessarily. But when you're making a project and you're just putting music out there for people to listen to, it really doesn't help your case to have no substance in your music when you're going to make a ton of it. Like, then it gets kind of stale, if you get what I'm saying, right? If you have 25 songs, but throughout those 25 songs, you're carrying through a theme and a project and conveying an emotion throughout the album, okay. But if you're just making 25 songs because, you know, I have a project coming up on my contract, I have to fulfill this obligation, you know, I want to make music, it's fun, but I don't really have any ideas for this album. I'm just kind of making this album just to put one together. Probably don't need to make it super fucking long. Like, chill. All these rappers put out these long albums, and I know it's like, okay, I have more songs, so more people are going to listen to it. But it kind of balances itself out eventually, because I guarantee you, if I'm a newer fan of somebody and I see your projects out and people have been telling me, oh, that guy's super good, I'm like, okay, Let me go check it out. But I click on your project and it says 30 songs. I'm going to be like, I'm not checking that out. I'm not listening to that. Why would I sit here and listen to 30 songs worth of music from somebody who I don't really know is super good or not? You know, it discourages people to listen to all those projects, which is kind of a thing that's happened with YoungBoy, where it's like he drops all this music, and people who aren't really fans of him are like, bro, I'm not about to check all that out because I don't have time to listen to all this. I don't feel like taking a risk in listening to 46 albums. I'm not doing that. And that's perfectly fine. So yes, rappers, the more songs you have on your project, the more times the more opportunity you have to stream. Yes, but at the same time, you're pushing away newer fans, because I guarantee you a newer fan is not going to sit down and listen to 27 new songs from you. They're not. And especially when those 27 new songs are really 13 songs split into 27 pieces. Like, it just gets ridiculous. Somebody like Kodak, right? Kodak's a great artist. He's not a great album artist, at least in my opinion. Throughout his career, when you think of Kodak, you think of singles. You don't really think of a project. You don't really think, oh man, Kodak's got this project and this project. Like, even though he has good projects, he's not a project artist in that type of way, where you're thinking about, man, Kodak's got classic albums. He's not really that type of artist. So he doesn't need to put 26 songs. He doesn't need to put 24 songs on a project. Give us a cool 16 and move on. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's different. It's not 2006 anymore, where I can just buy a CD and you get your sale regardless of whether I come back and listen to that CD 40 times. But man, it's just really discouraging, and it's really dropped the quality of the music. It really has. The streaming services and this subsequent addition of songs on the album has really dropped the quality of a lot of these projects, man. A lot of these projects are stretching themselves as far as they can. Cut it at 16, cut it at 18. A lot of them. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a longer project. There are good projects that are 20 plus songs, but typically those ones that are 20 plus songs are projects that are 20 plus songs and that are good. They're projects that mean something. They're projects that have some sort of new sound, or they're projects with some sort of meaning behind it. There's projects that are telling a story. They're projects that are actually doing something that's kind of new or kind of fresh, or that's holding your attention. They're not just, oh, well, we got 16 songs, but we can boost our streams by an extra 3 million if we throw in another 8. So let's just do. They're not those type of projects. So cut the crap, man. And I know every artist is going to say, well, my music does mean something. I am trying to just be real for a second. Is this a project where you're really putting your heart in? You're really putting, pen to paper, thinking about the story you're telling, thinking about the theme, or are you just making an album? There's nothing wrong with just making an album. I'm not saying you can't do that. I love music that has no substance. I do. There's nothing wrong with that. But at a certain point, you got to realize, you got to look in the mirror and see what type of artist you are and what type of music you're putting out there, and understand that you don't need all that extra music. So artists, rappers, labels, streaming services, somebody's got to change this. Somebody's got to stop this, because these albums are getting ridiculously long. There's no need for 24 plus song, 25 plus song album for every single artist that drops nowadays. Cut it at 14. Cut it at 16. You know what's more impressive than selling 100K with 25 songs? Selling 100K with 16 songs. Selling 100K with 14 songs. And I know artists like to use certain angles to be like, oh, well, my project did this and I'm blackballed, or my project did this and I only promoted it for 2 weeks. How about we start doing, my project sold 150K and I only put 14 songs on it. Y'all rappers need to put 30 songs on y'all projects to sell 80K. How about we start doing that? Because these projects are getting out of hand. They're getting out of hand. But that's just my opinion. That's just a quick rant. If you disagree, if you agree, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me why I'm an idiot. Tell me why you want to hear a 40-song project from the next artist that